Greetings from Deal. We're in Kith and Kin Village number 1. The last video, I showed our housing contest winner. I did neglect one winner, and I promised them I would show this house before I would allow any of my next video to continue. So let's check out his house really quickly, and then we're going to go through the VOA expansion. The VOA content. So let's hop over here. I really enjoy touring people's homes, and even some people that didn't even compete in this housing contest. I think some homes are just so awesome, and people really invested a lot of time. This is this person shared third place. So he got 25,000 plat for his home. It looks like he's got this gorgeous flower. I'd really like to know where he got this. It's sunset worn flower of the domain, but that just looks beautiful. Look at that. That's gorgeous. And he's got one at the northwest and southwest corner of his property. I imagine it'd get more exposure to the sun. It looks like the sun is coming out. Yeah, so he's got pretty good exposure on this side. He's got some hair. No, he's got lions and he's got panthers. I imagine they get along. The panthers are running and the lions are stationary. These are Nathaniel Marr lions. Fancy. Aqueduct feeding into this fountain Roman bath, which is nice. Very sanitary. I imagine the water is protected from bacteria and fungus, since it's elevated above the ground and it's coming right off the higher elevation and going to a lower elevation. So same concept as our sewage system that we saw, where we gave a lot of thought as to the water coming into the house and the water exiting the house, all keeping things sanitary. So yeah, beautiful outdoor design. We're going to check out the inside of his house now. And then we're going to go into VOA discussions. Right now, some of my guildmates are much further along than I am. I'm still kind of learning my ABCs of the Alarin language, and they're already masters of the universe, and we're only about a week and a half in. But I'm definitely taking my time with this content. Let's see his house. It looks like he has his own brewery. That he doesn't allow access to. I don't think I would allow access to my home brewery if I had one in my house. But yeah, that's pretty cool. He has his own little home brewery. He makes his own beer and wine. His own bar, bakery. Looks like he has a nice place for serving bread and beer. This looks like he's a working man. He comes home, sits at the head of the table, and gets to work reading and eating bread, and kind of like most of us here in Kith and Kin, we work for a living. So we come home, sit at the table, take a load off, drink, have like a glass of wine or two, and read and unwind. So nothing wrong with that. It looks like he has a bunch of shields along this wall. This doesn't look like a shield though. This looks like a sigil of the gate. This kind of looks like the Bale's heraldic crest, an AC aug, but I don't think this aug can be placed. So yeah, I think the sigil of the gate is some other item printed with the seal of Quanos. So yeah, but it has the same graphic as Bale's heraldic crest. You hold it up to it. Yeah, pretty cool. And it looks like these are shields from various different expansions. So I'm willing to bet this one's probably from. I'm thinking this is probably from Depths of Dark Hollow, maybe. And then this one is from this slimy dragon emblazoned shield. This is from a much later expansion, so you look at the AC difference. So this is from a later expansion. So he's just been collecting shields through various expansions, and he's now just plotted all his shields along this west wall of his property. As we go in, it looks like he has a trophy room here, and it looks like he might have a parcel vendor just for himself. So I think he just only allowed permissions for himself. Some edged weapons along this wall, some blunt weapons, some newer edged and piercing weapons along this wall. You can tell because of the color they are. Um, these blue hue and the purple hue represent different tiers of group and raid drops. Got a whole bunch of trophies here. If you look along this wall, you've got some blunt weapons and some brass knuckles over here. So I'm willing to bet he's probably a monk, maybe a beast lord. Got a test dummy here. Stab him a couple times. Chest set with some action figures. Looks like he has a Anatonic and Bard. It looks like he's a bard and maybe like a New World orc that are fighting. So yeah, looks like a nice epic battle in progression there. His bedroom, it looks like he has all of his livestock. Well, not livestock. It looks like he has all his bunny rabbits that sleep with him. I mean, it'd be kind of fun, but I think that I don't know. I'd probably put my bunny rabbits outside as opposed to inside. But everybody's different. They have different relationships with their animals. Looks like he has like a little reading corner. This is a nice little reading area. So yeah, so he has a bookshelf full of books, book in a seat here. So yeah, his nice little reading corner, and looks like he has like a bedpan here. I think that might be a spittoon. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to know what goes into that. And he's got a little dressing area here. So very, very nice inside of his property. Really glad he competed. So this is the last house in the housing competition. Very, very creative. People were very, very creative with this contest. And I'm really glad people were involved. From here, I'm going to go and discuss VOA content. I'm going to go to the main VOA page on Raspers, and I'll be right back. I'll be right back. So here's the main VOA page on Raspers repository. The way you get here, just go to Raspers or raspersrealm.com and click on expansion, go to Veil of Alaris, and we're about halfway through the progression on Mangler. And here's the main page. You actually have two separate progressions. You have a group progression and a raid progression. The group progression, what determines or what limits your progress is your skill in the language. So you have to learn the Alaran language, which is really the language of the people of Rasset Knife, that alien healer guy. So you basically have to learn their language, and you can't simply learn it by going to a guild trainer, investing a point, and spamming the language in OOC. You can't do that. You got to actually do these quests. And in order to do anything in VOA, you're going to have to learn the language. And that controls the spells you buy, the armor you can make, the tier 3 and tier 4 armor. Can't make it unless you learn the language, the quests that you can request, and the class-specific AA that you can buy. So there's certain AAs you won't have access to without learning this language. So got to learn it. And there's also a raid progression called Evolving Records. So when you click on language, I actually found the best way to do this is to click on static zones. Instead of that language hyperlink, I go to static zones and go to Argoth. Argoth is our very first zone. You get here either from Steamfont Mountains. There's a blimp that'll take you here, a gnomish blimp, or you can get here from your guild hall. Okay, Argoth is the little the place of the Argothian people or the Alaran people. And basically, they're in civil conflict between one group of Alarans and another group, and so you're kind of taking a side in this sort of sectarian conflict, as usual. And there are these tabs at the top. You click on tasks and missions. There's rares, so these are some mobs, what they drop. But you go to tasks and missions, and basically you need to do all these mercenary tasks and all these partisan tasks and these missions. Okay, the mercenary tasks are just kill. So when you click on the plus sign, it'll tell you what you need to kill. Over here, for example, Supply Keeper Proxipid, this is the quest giver, and you say to him the word kill. So this is the key phrase, right? So this is the quest giver, this is the key phrase. You click on plus, this will tell you exactly what you need to kill. After you've killed these things, you go back to the Supply Keeper, hail him, he gives you a book. You have to right-click that book, and with each of these quests, they give you a different book. And with each book that you right-click, you get incrementally more of the Alarin language that you learn. These partisan tasks are a little bit more involved when you click the plus sign. When you click the plus sign, it's more involved. You have to do various hails. You might get a clicky. You have to use that clicky in specific instances. You might get some turn-ins that you have to turn into one quest mob and finish with a hail, either with that quest mob or a final quest mob. You might have some kills that you have to do. So these are a lot more involved. Again, you get incrementally more language learned with each quest that you do. Each quest is going to award you a book, and by the conclusion of all these mercenary tasks, these partisan tasks, and these group missions, you'll get to a level 70 skill. Reclaiming Argoth, I have a good video of this. This is an interesting little helicopter ride, which involves range DPS and dotting. You basically dot everything, so this is basically a ranger or a necromancer's dream, probably a shaman's too. Everything will benefit from being dotted up. So, but yeah, I could show you. You get in this little gnomish helicopter and you do several passes of these islands around Argoth. So I was going to show that video at the end of this video. Let's just go back. This Aldera's Vengeance, this involves killing this gigantic steel avatar, and he exists in a group instance, but also the very first raid instance, which is called Aldera's Vengeance. I have a whole video dedicated to this, so this is very, very interesting. Very first tier 1 instance raid. And so yeah, that's really cool. But if you do all of these missions, this will get you to a level 70 skill. To get you to level 71, I actually go over to Sereth, City of Tides, tasks and missions. So again, you have mercenary and partisan tasks and group missions. I just did Governor's Plot. I did the partisan task number 1. And by completing this, I got to a level 71, which gave Deal and Annulus the minimal language competencies. Eventually I want to get to level 90, and that's going to require basically completing all of these and doing another group, probably of a tier 3 or a tier 4 mercenary and partisan missions. We already have some members that are in Pillars of Alra, and they're already gone through a lot of these missions, which give a lot more AC, better quest rewards, things of that nature. But we're basically a week and a half in, and we already have members that are level 95, and see, all of these require 81 skill in Alarin to request. So I can't request it because I only have 71 in Alarin. So basically I have to go to an earlier static zone and basically do all this stuff to get to 81 in order to request that. So that's pretty neat. When you go under raid instances, well, let's just go to the main page, the main VOA page. There's this evolving records. The very first raid instance that you do is basically the Steel Guardian fight. He gives you a book. At the conclusion of that fight, you have to equip the book in your main hand and right-click it to get this evolving records progression done. And evolving records is a lot like hailing the planar projections in the Planes of Power era. In order to do Planes of Power raid progression, you have to do those hails in order to get keyed into the next zone. Same basic philosophy, where you have to equip the book, right click it in order to get that book to evolve to gain you access to higher raid instances. And that's a whole raid needs to do that. So it's not very hard. The main thing is just literally remembering to equip the book and right-click it before the instance closes. Once the instance closes, you can't right-click that book. So everyone, you generally get reminders from your guild leadership to click your books, click your books. So anyways, with that, I'm going to show you a little bit of footage, not all, but a little bit of footage from this group mission, Reclaiming Argoth. This requires that you have a group of 6 together, and it's pretty interesting. We get in a helicopter and we do some ranged DPS, pretty fun. So anyways, I hope you enjoy that, and I'll see you in the next video. I think after we hail, we get on the helicopter. And yeah, Deal has a gun and Annulus has a bow. Yeah, there you go. Let's get on the airship. So, I mean, you know, Deal is just firing. Just keep firing that hand cannon. And you have to rotate. So I'm going to switch to the next guy. Okay. Dot him up. I'm losing line of sight now. One Annulus. No, losing line of sight. No. Yeah, I think dots help a lot. It's... This is so silly. Nothing. Like, I find this to be very easy. Let us get off here. Where's my gun? Where's my gun?